back to my channel Gabbabetic. This is the video where I go from couch potato to basically running a 5k 3 times a week and completing a 5k race as a type 1 diabetic. I filmed this video over 2021. I filmed it over 4 to 5 months. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you my whole running plan, which took place over 9 weeks, and then how I maintained the running, the race itself, and all about my diabetes. I've added chapters down below, so if you want to come back to the video and go through each week by week, if you do try to do 5k yourself, or if you want to go to parts about blood sugars or different parts of the video. I should say this video is not sponsored at all. I'm just using this app called Couch to 5k. It's in the UK, I'm not sure if it's in other countries, but the app was really good and got me from like doing no exercise at all to running 5k, so you'll see that all in the video, but I just wanted to mention that first. Before this, I had no running experience at all, and I never ever thought that I could do a 5k race. I know 5k might seem very small to some people, but to me, from doing no exercise and having issues with hypos and hypers around exercise, it really was a challenge. So this video is going to focus on the running plan itself, maintaining the run after the 9 weeks, the race that I took part in, my blood sugars, my insulin reduction, hypoglycemia and hyperglycemia, and how I felt mentally and physically throughout my training. I hope you liked the video. If you do, please give it a thumbs up down below. Let me know if you're doing anything like this or what exercise you do and how it affects your blood sugars if you're type 1 diabetic. And if you're new here, please consider subscribing to the channel. Thanks so much for everyone who watches, and now let's start on week 1. This is week 1. First, what I want to talk about is how to get ready diabetes wise for this run. So I want to have my blood sugar good. I don't want it too high, because if I'm feeling high, I'm going to feel awful. I'm going to need water because I'll be so thirsty, and I'm going to need to go to the toilet, and I just won't want to run. If I'm low, obviously I'll be in bits. So you know how it feels to go low. You'll just feel too weak to run. So I have a sensor on. We're going to test it, and it says 5.5. I was low before this, so I've had a bit of Luxaid, but 5.5 is good. I just want to be extra sure, because if I'm running and I'm like lower than that, I want to know before I go so I could like take something. So yeah, my tip would be always check your blood sugar before you go to see where you're at, and if you need to adjust for that, or if you need to have a bit of sugar. 5, so a bit less than what the sensor says, but I'm happy with that. I just would strongly advise always bring some hypo treatment with you. So you want to have your blood sugars good, you want to have your hypo treatment ready, and then you just want to go, get out and do it as soon as you can. Using the app, each week has 3 runs, and I usually did mine Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Sometimes the runs are the same breakdown of walking and running each week, and sometimes they differ between the runs of that week. Every run begins with a 5-minute warm-up walk. The breakdown for this week's runs were a 5-minute warm-up walk, which is usual for every session, and then we had a 60-second run followed by a 90-second walk, and that repeated 7 times, and then a final 60-second run followed by a final 5-minute warm-down walk, and altogether it takes about 40 minutes to complete, including the 2 walks at the beginning and the end. And I think this is just the right pace at the start to get you into running. It feels really difficult, but it is manageable. So just to show you, after I have a run, I want to have something that's like not too heavy to eat. So these crumpets are from Genius, and they're 16 carbs each, so I'm going to have 2, and then some egg for some protein, and then here is some avocado as well. So have all them together, and it's probably only going to be like, if even, 3 units of insulin, which I'm going to dial up to here. But that's the kind of thing, and obviously water. That's the kind of thing that I have after running. So this week was a slight increase in run time, not too much though. We started off with our usual 5-minute warm-up walk, and then increased our run time to 90 seconds, followed by a 2-minute walk. This repeated 5 times, and then we had a final 90-second walk, followed by a final 5-minute warm-down walk. Not too bad, but definitely made a difference. Week 3 was slightly different to week 1 and week 2 in that there was no repeats for this week. Each walk and run was its own time. So I started off with my normal 5-minute warm-up walk, followed by a 90-second run and a 90-second walk, then onto a 3-minute run and a 3-minute walk, then onto a 90-second run again, followed by a 90-second walk, and then onto a final run of 3 minutes, followed by a final walk of 5 minutes. This week saw the most running at any one time, which was 3 minutes altogether. Okay, so I just finished the 3rd run of week 3, and I'm feeling really good, so I'm going to give you an update at every 3rd week. The 2nd run of this week, you'll see in my little montage, was really tough. My blood sugars weren't in range beforehand because I've been away and I've been eating a lot more, so it was difficult. If you are type 1, keep the sugars in range is one key
stopped that video off. But I'm feeling really good now. I'll see you in the next clip, and hopefully I can keep going as good as this one.
So week 4 started off with the usual 5-minute walk. The first run was 3 minutes, followed then by 90 seconds of walking. Then we moved on to an increase of 5 minutes of running and 2.5 minutes of walking. So this is the highest amount of running at any one time at 5 minutes. Next run then changed to 3 minutes, followed by 90 seconds walking, and then went back to a final 5-minute run, followed by a final 5-minute walk. So definitely increase the amount of running time each week, and you can really see it here. Week 5 is where things started to change. Each of the runs in week 5 were different and they all increased in run time. So this was probably the hardest week of the whole program. All of the runs of week 5 started with the usual 5-minute warm-up walk, and then it was 5 minutes of running followed by 3 minutes of walking, and that repeated twice. And then there was a final 5-minute run and then a 5-minute walk. So the first run of the week wasn't too bad. Things started to get a bit more difficult though in run 2. So started with the usual 5-minute warm-up walk, and then I had an 8-minute run followed by a 5-minute walk, and that repeated twice. So that was a bit of an increase. Running 8 minutes at a time was probably the longest of all of the training so far, but it was only twice that it repeated, so it wasn't too bad. But the final run of week 5 was, oh my god, that was the most difficult. So started with the usual 5-minute walk, and then it was a full 20 minutes of running followed by a 5-minute warm down walk. So 20 minutes at one time is a huge increase, I thought, from running 8 minutes twice with a 5-minute walk break in between. So that was probably the week of all of this training program that I struggled with the most, but I did make it.
Ooh, so I just did 16 minutes of running, which was 2 8 minutes and then a 5-minute break between them. Oh my god, my hair. I'll put a picture of my blood sugar here on the screen. I'm walking back now. I'll have a shower, go back to work. I have my lunch and I'll show you my lunch.
Week 6 was the same as week 5 in that all the runs were different this week, with the first run starting out as the easiest and the last run of the week ending as the hardest. But it wasn't too bad because week 5 kind of prepared you for it. So for week 6, run 1, we started with our usual 5-minute warm-up walk, then we had a 5-minute run followed by a 3-minute walk, and then an 8-minute run followed by a 3-minute walk, and then back to a 5-minute run followed by a 5-minute walk. Run 2 of the week had the usual warm-up walk of 5 minutes, then we had a 10-minute run followed by a 3-minute walk, and then another 10-minute run followed by a 5-minute walk. And then the final run of the week was again a really big run, so it was a 5-minute warm-up walk and then a 25-minute run all together, and then a 5-minute warm down walk. So you can see that you're really getting some big amount of run time now in week 5 and week 6, which is kind of preparing you to do the 5k within 40 minutes, which is the aim of the program. I'll talk a bit about my review of weeks 3 to 6 in the next clip.
Right, so that was the last run of week 6. As you can see that I'm really, oh my god, my hair is so frizzy. I can see that I'm really out of breath. I'll do my cool down walk now. So I decided for the last 1 minute of a 25-minute jog that I would do a sprint. So that's why I'm dying. But it was, so as you can see, I think since week 4 it's been split into like really long runs. So this was a full 25-minute no break. And I'm really happy that I actually did. I can't believe that I actually did without stopping. I had a bit of a blip during the week on run 2, which was 2 10 minutes with a 3-minute break in between. Got really bad stitch, so I had to take some extra time. So I was a bit worried about today, but that's okay. I did it. So yeah, week 4 to 6 definitely up the intensity of the longer runs. So I think from now on, everything will be really long runs for the last 3 weeks. But if I can do it as good as I did today, I'll be really happy. And also the fact that I put up a picture of my blood sugar here. It wasn't great starting today, so I was worried it would be really difficult, but I managed it. So that's weeks 4 to 6, and hope you keep watching for the last 3 and then the race, hopefully.
All of the runs then for week 7 were the same. They had a 5-minute warm-up walk, and they were all 25 minutes of running and then a cool down of 5 minutes walking. And I didn't find this one too bad because in run 3 of week 6 I did 25 minutes, so this kind of got me ready, and then just maintaining it in week 7 was manageable. For week 8 then, all of the runs were the same. Started off with a 5-minute warm-up walk and then 28 minutes of running consecutively, and then a final 5-minute cool down walk. So this was repeated 3 times this week, and it was only a slight increase from 25 minutes the week before, so it didn't feel bad, but it's just about getting you ready to do that final 30 minutes of running. You can see how close we are now at 28 minutes. And then we finally made it to week 9, the final week. Woo! So, as you could expect, all of the runs were the same. 5-minute warm-up walk and then the final half an hour of running all together. So the first time doing this. And this is where you want to end up at the end of it, to be able to do 30 minutes of running one time. So I repeated this run 3 times and then I finished it. I graduated. It's my last run today and I am very excited, and I hope it'll go well. My blood sugar's a bit high, I'll put a picture, but we're gonna just get it done. So I just did the last run of the 9 weeks and I'm sweating. Oh my god, but I feel really, really good doing the last 5-minute walk. So now I just have to keep it up and maintain it until the race, which is November. So I completed the program at the end of September and I needed to keep it going until at least the end of November because that's when my race was scheduled for. Basically what I did was I just repeated week 9 over and over. As you saw, I had 3 30-minute 5k runs. So I just repeated this, and this actually worked really well for me because I could just go into week 9 again, do run 1, 2 and 3 and then finish the week, and then I get a little bonus to say you've completed it at the end of the week, which is kind of encouragement to keep going. So yeah, I didn't really film those weeks at the end of September, October, so I just started filming again at the start of November in preparation for the race. Okay, so today is the 1st of November. I still have to take out my Halloween decorations. 27 days until the race, so I need to get really serious now. I've got proper running gloves, so I've actually been off sick for a week, which was not good because I didn't do any running, so it might be hard to get back into it today. Blood sugar's 8 on the screen there, so I'm at a good level, but I need to start serious training and eating better to be ready for the race. So I'm going to be just eating like 3 really good meals a day and trying not to snack unless I need to for my blood sugar. But we're going to go and do the first run of November. Okay, it's week 2. I'm ready now. Also, I got a new watch to try. It's a Garmin one. I always have the Fitbit. I'm gonna try this out, see how it goes. But I made a soup as well to have when I get back. So really in the race spirit now. Here we go. We're about 3 weeks out. Hello. So it's 2 weeks to go now until the race. It's the 15th of November. You can see it's very autumny. The ground is so wet as well. So it's a bit harder to run, but I just finished the first run of the week and I'm feeling really good. My face is not so red for once, but I'm gonna keep practicing this week, and there's only this week and next week, and then it's on next Saturday, so that'll be really exciting. So I'll keep training and I'll update you guys on the final week. Hello, so I just wanted to jump into the video for a second and talk about blood sugars throughout the running program. So as I said at the start, it really makes life easier if your blood sugar is in range when starting the run, and I found this really throughout the 9 weeks. When I was in range, it was so much easier to run. I'm talking about blood sugars like 6 or 7, 8, around that. Anything that was in the green on my Freestyle Libre app. When I started off at blood sugar like 6, 7, I felt that the run, I kind of just stayed at it. I might have gone up a little bit, but then I kind of just leveled out, back down again. The times when I started with higher blood sugars, and I don't mean really, really high, I mean like 11, 12, 13, that personally made me struggle with the exercise. I felt going out from the beginning really tired, I felt thirsty, I felt like I needed to go to the toilet. That's how I feel personally when my blood sugars are at like that level around 12. I do feel the hyperglycemia symptoms. So it just made the running so much harder. I would really say before your run, get to a target level, not anything too low though. Just get to something like 7, 8 that will keep you up when you're running, and it will make you feel okay to run. And that's just how I felt personally. I also didn't feel good if I went out and my blood sugar was too low, like if it was around 4ish, low 5ish, and then I go for a run, I would find that I would drop after, not even straight away on the run, but after, maybe after I've had my lunch. So I did need to think about that. Maybe later on in the day I need to reduce how much insulin I'm taking to combat that run earlier on. What I did find was that it was kind of mixed. Some runs I went higher after, some runs I went lower after. I can't explain why. If you're type 1, you know that sometimes there's just different. Like, you do the same thing one day and it's different. There wasn't any times, I don't think, that I had a low blood sugar during the run. I did always have my Freestyle Libre on. I have alarms because I have Freestyle Libre 2, so that would notify me on my phone or in my headphones when I was running. But I always brought glucose tablets, and if I was going for a run and I was like 4ish, 5ish, I would maybe take a tablet before, just in case. Not that I needed to, but just make me feel better. Overall, I would say is, before you do your run, have your blood sugar in the range that suits you. It made me feel physically better when I was in range before I did the run, rather than a bit higher or a bit lower. In terms of insulin reduction, then my long-acting insulin is Tresiba and my short-acting insulin is NovaRapid. I did drop my long-acting throughout the course of this program, so I think I started off at somewhere around 16 or 17, and now I'm on 12. So I didn't drop by a lot, but definitely I felt the exercise helped me to bring that down, because I found that throughout the day or different times of the day, not even directly after the run, I would have a lower blood sugar, not even a hypo, but just lower. So I worked with my diabetes team, and I would recommend that if you are diabetic to work with your own team or your doctor, and they helped me reduce my long acting down a bit to a level that suits me and kind of got rid of those hypos. I always kept my NovaRapid ratios the same though, 1-to-1, except if, like I said, those runs where I was at a lower range and then I came back and find I'd go hypo after lunch, I might take like half a unit less. But the thing with type 1 diabetes is it's very personal. Not one thing will suit for everybody. So I'd say really have a good range when you're starting, but then you probably will need to tweak some things over the course of the program. But yeah, it's hard, but it's definitely doable, so don't worry about that, you can definitely do it. But yeah, I just wanted to jump in, talk a bit about blood sugars for a second, and now we'll go back to the video. It's the last week, it's time for the race on Saturday. Today is Monday, so usually I would do 3 runs a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, but I'm not gonna wear myself out this week. Also, I have an injury. If you don't like feet, look away. It's taped together, the bruising is really bad, it's all purple under here as well. It's difficult to walk on enough. This just happened on Friday, today is Monday, so I'm gonna leave my run today. I'm not gonna do it. Hopefully do a run on Wednesday, and I really hope I'll be okay for Saturday, because I'll be really upset if I can't do the race after all this. But I'm gonna just walk every day now that I'm not running, keep up the exercise, try to do a run on Wednesday, and then just kind of eat good, keep my blood sugar good, and keep my energy for Saturday. So I just thought I'd give you an update. This is the last week, getting ready for the race on Saturday, so hopefully in the next clip you will see me at the race and I'm able to run. So cold that I can't even do it myself. Are you recording? Oh my god. I feel really good though. Oh my god, my face is so red. I feel like pumped. I got my medal first 5k.
How was it compared to what you expected?
Yeah, I think because hello, so I did it. You see the clips of me running the race, but I finished it. Here's my medal proof that I did the 5k, and the timing that I did was really good. I did it in 35 minutes, which is faster than any of my practice runs before, so I'm like really happy and I feel really pumped. And my blood sugar, put it on the screen, it's 5.5, and I just had something to eat, steady, if you're thinking about just starting running or doing a couch to 5k or just trying to get some more exercise in general, especially if you're type 1, I would really encourage it, because honestly I had no exercise at all experience anything before I started this, and now I just feel really pumped today and I really want to keep it up. But thanks so much for watching. I hope you liked my video and I hope it encourages you to do a 5k or just take up any sport really, and especially if you're type 1, know that you can do it. Even though I had a low blood sugar literally right before the race, I still managed to finish it, which to me is like a really good achievement. So thanks so much for watching. I hope you'll subscribe if you're new here, and if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up and comment down below, and I'll see you all in the next video.